Hey Geminis, this is Leah with Half Moon Tarot. I will be doing your April 2024 reading. I've already meditated over the cards and asked that Spirit bring whatever is necessary for you to hear, for you to know, expect, and be prepared for. So Geminis, coming into April 2024, what is up? Okay, what is going on in that mind of yours? Coming in with the Two of Swords, it just looks like there's just a lot of wavering. There's a lot of back and forth. There's a lot of vacillation going on in the mind. It is like these big choices that you have to make that feel big right now, but in the long run, they're going to seem so small, right? And I can't remember what was exactly said in your last reading, but I know it had to do with like something being temporary, right? So the things that you were going through were being temporary. I think that coming into this month, and if you haven't listened to March, go back and listen to March. But coming into this month, I think you've been hit with a fork in the road, right? You can go one way or you can go the other way. I think for this month, because we have the Tower card, it is a month of growth, but we have to choose which path is going to be best for us to experience that growth, Gemini. Okay. So here's the thing. It almost looks like the Eight of Swords is talking about reflecting back on the decisions that we've made, but also how is that linked to our heritage? How is that linked back to our family? It's like every decision that we have made has been a reflection of the look of this family as a whole. And every decision and choice that I make is going to have a blowback on this unit. Okay. And the decision that we have to make is either do we make a decision in the way that things look, or do we make the decision in the side of independence and being for ourselves? Okay, Gemini. And half of you wants to go with, you know, but we have to keep up this look. We have to keep up this thing because we don't want the outside in our business. But also, I'm really wanting to be in this independent space. I want to be able to goodness, what word am I looking for? I want to be able to express myself as myself, and it just be a reflection of me, and it doesn't have to be a reflection of everybody around me. It's like you want to be in your own bubble, Gemini. You want to be the own definition of yourself with having to be the definition of everybody else around you. So I think this month is really going to be this growth period of stepping out as who you are, and being in this independent space. And like I said, with this Two of Swords, it feels like such a big decision. But when you look back on it, it's going to be the decision that made you you. Okay? It is going to be the decision that separated you from the rest. Okay? And like I said, when you look back on it, it's gonna be like, oh, that was nothing compared to all the other decisions that I had to make moving forward, that I have to make moving forward. But right now, it just feels very big, and I think that you're looking at something so small with a microscope, so it seems so big. Now, there's something about books, there's something about reading, there's something about knowledge, craving more, and being stimulated in that space, right? So maybe some of my Geminis are in relationship and they just don't feel like they are being stimulated. But if they went to a space where in a different relationship where they could be stimulated, it would reflect in a not so good way on their current relationship. Okay, so that could be a pathway for some of my Geminis, right? or craving knowledge. This could be for some of my college Geminis who got into a major that they were kind of interested in, but now that they've experienced a little bit more of their education, they're realizing they want to go into a different route. But this is something that your family has been saying, oh, you're going to be such a great lawyer, you're going to be such a great doctor, you're going to be such a great real estate agent, you're going to be such a great engineer, whatever it is. But now you're reaching more towards the arts, you're reaching more towards journalism, you're going in a completely different route. And this is going to be a space where, if I do take this completely different route, are they going to support me? Whether that be financially, spiritually, emotionally, physically, whatever it is, am I still going to be supported in that space? So like I said, right now it feels like a big decision, but maybe when you look back on it, it is going to be the defining decision. Not so big, but it is defining, right? And it just seems like so much common sense in hindsight, right? But it feels really huge here, okay, in this present moment. And maybe there have been some losses in the past that have pushed you towards this. It could be loss of people. It could be loss of children. It could be a loss of life experiences that you thought you'd have by now that you haven't had. It just feels like the decisions that I've made up until this point haven't really fulfilled me, right? And now I'm going towards something that is going to be fulfilling. The Tower card, like I said, it speaks to growth. It speaks to things feeling like they're crumbling around you, but really you're in a space of growth. You're growing your own wings. You're growing your own independence so that you can learn to move forward without having to think of what is everyone else going to say? What is everyone else going to think? And that may not be you, not Aries, Gemini. So if it don't apply, let it fly, right? But there's somebody out there that's dealing with it. Okay. What I really love is that on this Tower card, there is the Aries symbol. So it lets me know that it's happening in April. This decision that you're going to make is happening this month. Okay. And you may have gotten wind of it last month and you had some realizations about it last month. You may have dibble dabbled in it last month, Gemini, but this month you're making a decision towards it, a hard decision towards it. Okay. The Page of Coins comes out and was like, the Page of Coins talks about these opportunities, right? These new big ideas. I mean, it could also talk to money too, but that's so surface level, right? But it also talks about, like I said, these opportunities, these new opportunities that are being presented to you, and you're getting excited about these things. But then again, we go back and say, is this going to be supported because it's coming from me? Is this going to be supported because some people have, their own outlook of who I should be or who I am or who I could be, right? And ultimately, in the end, Gemini, you're not really going to care about their opinions. But right now, like I said, you do. Okay? And that is why it feels like such a big decision to make, right? I can't tell you which decision to make. I just know that the decision that you do make is going to start a growth period for you. Okay. Is it going to be an upward growth or is it going to be an inward growth? It's really up to you. Okay. The Page of Coins, like I said, it talks about all of these new opportunities being presented to you. Now, this could be new opportunities being presented to you in the space that in which you want to go, but you're kind of like tiptoeing towards that thing. Okay. Just know, and I'm going to skip down to the Eight of Wands, just know that going that route, again, it's going to take some sacrifice. It's going to take some compromise, right? Because you are learning yourself in this space. This is new to you. So anytime we are moving into something new, we are relearning ourselves. We are reimagining ourselves. We are stepping into something that we don't even know, right? We don't even know like what is going to come of this. Okay. So it is ultra important that you take in all the pros and cons, right? And that you are making a decision that fits you, that fits you. and no one else. Okay. Jumping over to the Four of Coins, it says, see the big picture. Okay. See the bigger picture of your decisions that you have to make and the choices that you have to make. Because when it reflects back up to the Eight of Swords, all of the choices and decisions that you've made up until now haven't fulfilled you. Right? So when we start to look at the bigger picture and the opportunities that you have coming for you, and we look at the bigger picture, do you see yourself being fulfilled? Okay? And I think that's the bigger thing than the actual decision, is the fulfillment, right? Because we don't want to walk around making decisions that are and choices that are molded from someone else's view of who we are, right? We want to make decisions and choices that are going to ultimately be fulfilling for us so that we can have this growth period, right? In a more vertical motion and not a more horizontal motion, okay? And what I mean growing horizontally is just, it's very like deadlined. It's very routine. There's no excitement there. There's nothing that is going to push us to the next level. It's very plateau. Okay. Vertical gives us a plateau. A push. Vertical gives us something to look forward to. So these decisions that you're making, is it something that you're looking forward to? And it's not just because it's safe, right? In order to grow, we have to step outside of our ego safety. We have to step outside of our spiritual safety. We have to step outside of our emotional safety, because it feels like we've made these decisions and choices within our comfort zone, right? And in order to really know your spirituality, in order to know your emotions, in order to know your mental capacity, you have to step outside of your comfort zone and really let those three things do the work. Right? If we're stepping outside our comfort zone, then we're stepping outside onto faith. That's our spirituality, right? We're stepping out. We don't need to know what that next step is, but we know the bigger picture is fulfillment, and I'm trusting that my spirituality is leading me to this fulfillment, because it's coaxing us out of our comfort zone. Right? And that is where we start to have this friction between our logical brain and our spirituality, because the logical brain says, stay within your comfort zone. And your spirituality is pushing you out, saying, if you want me to work for you, if you want this faith to work for you, if you don't want to just talk about it, you want to be about it, then you got to start making decisions towards that. Right? And our logical is our mental, right? If we want to step out and we want to grow mentally, then we have to step into things that we know nothing about, so that we can relearn ourselves, so that we can relearn our actions, we can relearn our emotions, right? Oh, my stomach is just growling up a storm. My goodness, I apologize if you can hear it. So we want to step out of a space where we step into a space where we know nothing. And that is the exciting and the scary part about it, because all of these things, the mental, the spiritual, the emotional, it has to work for us, right? Everybody wants to talk this good talk. Everybody wants to be the expert on all these things, but they have never stepped out of their comfort zone to really put their theories to the test. So I know, Gemini, you have all of these theories, you have all of these things that could be, but you won't know it until you step outside and you do it. Step outside of that safety ring and you do it. Okay? So, Gemini, that has been your April 2024 reading. If it resonates with you, honey, drop down in the comments. Let's have a conversation around it. And I will talk to y'all next month. Bye.